Alright, so recently Feral Interactive have ported Rise of the Tomb Raider over to Linux, and we're going to be having a look at that right now on Linux Lounge. Right, so recently Feral Interactive have ported Rise of the Tomb Raider over to the Mac. A few days later, they ported it over to Linux. And I've kind of just got that downloaded, and we're going to have a look at that right now. But the two ports do differ slightly because the Mac version uses the Metal API, whereas this one uses Vulkan. In my experience sort of using this, Vulkan has better performance than Metal, and that does show in this port. But as I say, from using it, it's been great, but I think we should just go ahead and load it up. Right, so recently Feral Interactive have ported Rise of the Tomb Raider over to the Mac. A few days later, they ported it over to Linux. And I've kind of just got that downloaded, and we're going to have a look at that right now. But the two ports do differ slightly because the Mac version uses the Metal API, whereas this one uses Vulkan. In my experience sort of using this, Vulkan has better performance than Metal, and that does show in this port. But as I say, from using it, it's been great, but I think we should just go ahead and load it up. Right, so one of the first things I found when I was launching up this port is that my cloud save data actually hasn't been copied over from the Mac. A similar thing happened in the Mac, whereby my cloud save data from Windows wasn't copied over, which it should in theory do so, and I was hoping that since this has been ported over by the same company, my cloud save would copy over, but no. Doesn't really matter too much since I didn't actually play that much on the Mac, since I'm more of a Linux guy and I was only really testing it out. But if you've been using the Mac or Windows version of this game for any amount of time and you want to get your save data, that could be potentially an issue. Alright, so as you can see from the cutscene here, everything works as you would expect it to. The graphics are absolutely fantastic, so you know, sort of it's great to have a game like that here on Linux. And actually I would highly recommend this game. It's a brilliant port, but not only that, it's actually a brilliant game in itself. Like I say, great game, great port, pick it up. I'll just leave the game running for a bit after the cutscene so you can see what kind of performance you're going to get, although I must say it's very smooth. And after that I will show you some benchmarks. Alright, so I think the best thing to use for comparison with these benchmarks would actually be the Mac version of the game. I'll have those results up on screen now, and here's the Linux results. As you can see, the Linux results are actually far better than the Mac version. As you can see, the results are brilliant anyway, but that's probably due to the efficiency of the Vulkan API, whereas the Metal API, being relatively new, does not always yield the best performance. But as you can see, the performance is brilliant in both versions. However, one thing you may notice is this is actually a picture of a monitor. The reason for that is Alt-tabbing out of the window to load my screenshot tool actually crashed the game. And I didn't want to sort of, run it in window mode or anything, or, anything like that, because then I would obviously be running the risk of impacting performance and that. One thing to note is I am using the XFCE desktop, so obviously that would impact performance, making it better because the XFCE desktop is rather light. If you run Ubuntu or something heavier, your results may vary, but honestly I think that this just goes to show that the Linux version of this game is really good. And in fact, I don't even have game mode enabled, so I would imagine if you had that, it would be better still. But all in all, great port. I would highly recommend it. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.